Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
And we just watched Hunter, Prey, episode 13 of season 2 of Babylon 5, and it's time to babble for 5. I think I have 3 words that generally describe the tone and the essence of this episode. What the f***?
At a certain point in this episode, I felt like John Travolta in the Pulp Fiction meme where he's kind of like...
Yes, I wish I remembered how I felt the very first time I watched this one, because even now, several times into watching Babylon 5, this is still kind of a what the hell's going on here kind of episode.
There were just a lot of little things that were like...
Yeah.
Huh? What?
This ties back into the whole resistance thing and Sheridan doing like super secret undercover stuff in this episode. It's got kind of that tone where it's sort of like a, I don't know, almost like a spy thriller.
Also, the other WTF storyline is Kosh.
Always WTF.
Seriously, so you throw a little bit of that into this episode too, and you have an episode that's tailor-made for people to be totally confused by if they're flipping through the channels.
Right. Okay, I can't even imagine that in the 90s, just flipping through the channels, you don't even know what Babylon 5 is, and you come across this. What is going on here?
Now, all of that said, still really enjoyable.
Yeah, you liked it?
I did.
Okay.
Did like it.
I kind of wondered, because tonally, this is really off base, well, at least in part, from where things have been going, and then we have this nice shift into the secret resistance stuff building up. There's some concrete proof that maybe President Clark wasn't so sick after all.
Not surprising at all, given the backstory that they've given Clark. It's not surprising at all that he's who he is. And we're seeing more and more of that. And that's kind of one of the interesting side plots, is just figuring out more about the politics behind the Earth Alliance has been kind of fun.
So this episode, in its entirety, really is just sort of this little side back burner story getting the spotlight for the week.
And that said, that's okay, because we still move the story forward.
Right, yeah, some very important things happened here. We kind of get a good sense of just how involved Sheridan and or Babylon 5 might be in all of this.
Now is when you start to see the crew on Babylon 5 becoming a piece of the resistance and really a piece of fighting back against its own government. Yeah. And that's kind of bizarre.
How about if we go to the other WTF aspect of this story, the major WTF, the WTF that's been here the whole freaking time. His name is Kosh.
You know, everyone has that one person who thinks they know everything.
But
he's that know-it-all.
He is, but he does know everything, and you know it too. Mm-hmm. That's a big difference.
He backs it. Mm-hmm.
Now, my favorite line from Kosh in this episode is after Sheridan asks him, "What do you want?" He says, "Never ask that question." Remember what Morden asked everybody.
And one of the things I noticed in this particular episode is how much Kosh's ship looks like the Demigorgons, looks like the Shadows. So there might be a connection there. Although I got to admit, this was the first time that I was ever disappointed by Babylon 5 CGI.
Yeah, I'm afraid this one does not hold up very well, and especially when you are focusing on the ship and you're supposed to be watching it move. Yeah, falls a little short.
It falls a lot a bit short. Cool story, horrible visuals to go with it.
Yeah, but good information, because we do learn that Kosh's ship is a living, breathing organism.
It's badass, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going on with Sheridan and Kosh? Because Sheridan wants to get to know Kosh. Why do I have this feeling that you're following me? Any idea where this might be going?
No, but I'm glad it's happening.
Really?
It's a lot of Babylon 5 things. I'm like, I have no idea where it's going, but I'm glad it's happening.
Okay.
Because
why?
Because it's going to help us know more about Kosh. We've been ignoring Kosh for the better part of 2 seasons, and now we're finally going to get to know a little bit more about him through this. I am excited to learn a little bit more about Kosh, who's, I believe, my favorite ambassador.
So, any other thoughts?
You know I'm not a big sci-fi fan, but my favorite all-time sci-fi movie is Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It's true.
And there's a Close Encounters reference in this episode. Dr. Harvard.
Dr. Harvard.
when he comes out of consciousness, he's like, the ship sang to me. Mm-hmm. That's a line from Close Encounters.
Ah.
I think it's a very deliberate Close Encounters reference.
Oh, it probably was. JMS is no dummy. That's going to take care of Hunter, Prey. And if you have any thoughts on Blinky Lights Guy and Dr. Harvard and any of the other people that we saw in this episode, and if you've got questions like we do, let us know in the comments. Type it out, just don't spoil anything that happens after this episode.
Looking forward to the rest of season 2 and sharing it with you.